Good morning, learners. Welcome to another math episode here in Valenzuela Live. Once again, I'm Teacher Precious from PO Valenzuela Elementary School, your FB math teacher for this day. To actively participate in our discussion, kindly do the following. First, type in your complete name, grade and section, your subject teacher, and your school for attendance. Second, type in your answers and your questions after the discussion on the comment box. And then third, please do prepare your pens, notebook, and your learning packets. We are still on quarter 4, week 7 of our MLC, or the most essential learning competencies. And we are here to learn how to make listings and diagrams of outcomes and tell the numbers of favorable outcomes and chances using these listings and diagrams. But before that, let's have an activity to check if you still remember our previous discussion. And this activity is entitled Fact Check. And for the direction, you're going to determine if the following events are impossible, unlikely, unlikely or likely, likely, and certain to happen using the following reaction button. So you can start by clicking those reaction buttons and you are given 5 seconds. So let's begin. For the first statement, first two statements, and your 5 seconds starts now. Okay, time's up. Let's see. Okay, so the first one it's certain, and the second one it's impossible. Next, for the third and fourth statement, just click the reaction button and your 5 seconds starts. Okay, time's up. So let's see. So the third statement is certain, and the fourth one is likely. Next, for the last statement, five seconds. Okay, so the answer is likely. So when we are dealing with probabilities, it is important to be able to identify all the possible outcomes. Such ways our listing method and 3 diagrams will help us obtain all the possible chances throughout an experiment or an activity. Let's look at this problem. So Gio wants to buy snacks with a sandwich or a burger and a juice. So the choices are listed below. How many ways can Gio order snacks? So here are the snacks. So we have regular burger, chicken sandwich, and egg sandwich. And for the drinks, we have an orange juice and a mango juice. So in answering this problem, we can use the following concept. So first, let's define what is a sample space. So when we say sample space, it is a list of possible outcomes of an activity or an experiment. Aside from sample space, we are going to learn how to do the listing and also the 3 diagram. So let's start first with the listing method. So for listing method, it is all the possible outcomes for 2 or more combined events enables you to calculate the probability of any event occurring. So going back to Gio's problem, we're going to write down all the possible outcomes. So we have, for the first one, Gio can order regular burger with a mango juice. And also, Gio can order a regular burger and an orange juice. Another, Gio can order chicken sandwich and a mango juice. Another, Gio can order chicken sandwich together with an orange juice. And then, for the fifth one, Gio can order an egg sandwich and a mango juice. And then, for the last one, Gio can order an egg sandwich and an orange juice. So for listing method, these are all the possible outcomes that Gio can buy for his snack. So next, let's try a tree diagram. So a tree diagram is a tool that helps calculate the number of possible outcomes of an event or problem and to cite those potential outcomes in an organized way. So let's try again Gio's problem about the snacks. So for the snacks, we are going to get how many ways can Gio order snacks. So we have regular burger, chicken sandwich, and an egg sandwich. And for the regular burger, he can choose from a combination of mango juice or an orange juice. For the chicken sandwich, same with the regular burger, he can also choose if he's going to get a mango juice or an orange juice. And then for the egg sandwich, he can also choose between the two, the mango or the orange juice. So these are the possible outcomes of the snacks he can buy or ways Gio can order snacks. So for the first one, we have a regular burger and the mango juice. And then for the second, we have a regular burger and an orange juice. And then chicken sandwich with mango juice, chicken sandwich, and an orange juice. And then for the last two, we have egg sandwich and the mango juice, and egg sandwich and an orange juice. So Gio have 6 ways to order a snacks. Okay, so it's easy, right? Well, for better understanding, let's try another problem. So Jerry and Ian are tossing a coin. They want to toss it 3 times. Jerry said that there are 8 possible outcomes when they toss a coin having a head and a tail. Let's find out if Jerry's guess is right or wrong by doing this method. So we are going to start with the tree diagram. So for the first trial, Jerry and Ian will going to get a head. And then for the second trial, it can be an head or a tail. And for the third trial, for the head, it can be head or a tail. And then for the tail, it can be head or a tail. So we can write down that the possible outcomes for 3 trials is it can be head, head, and head, or it can be head, head, and tail. And it can be head, tail, head, and head, tail, and tail. So we have already 4 outcomes. Next, how about if the coin is tail. So for the first trial, the outcome will become tail. And for the second trial, it can be a head or a tail. For the third trial, it can be for the head, it can be head or tail or head and tail. So for the possible outcomes, we can write down that it can be tail, head, and another head, tail, head, and then tail, 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 and head. And for the last one, we have 3 tails. So these are the other 4. And then let's try another method, which is the listing method. So for the first toss, second, and third, they have a result of head, head, and head. For the second trial, for the first, second, it has a result or outcomes of head, and in the third, it has tail. So for the outcomes, it can be head, head, and then tail. For the third one, we have head, tail, and another head. So the possible outcomes would become head, tail, and then head. For the fourth one, we have head, tail, and then tail. So for the outcomes, after they toss the coin 3 times, they can get an outcome of head and then 2 tails. For the next one, we have tail and then 2 heads. So if they toss a coin for 3 times, the possible outcome would become tail, 1 tail, and 2 heads. Next, we have tail, head, and another tail. So for the possible outcomes, it might be tail, head, and tail. Next, we have tail for the first toss. A second is tail also. And then for the third, we have the head. So for the possible outcomes, it can be tail, tail, and then 1 head. And then for the last one, these are also the possible outcomes. So after 3 times of tossing the coin, they might get also 3 tails. Okay, so Jerry's guess is right. There are 8 possible outcomes. Okay, so now it's time for you to shine. For the directions, you are going to read. You're going to read and analyze each statement. You're going to choose the letter of your answer. You can use a listing or tree diagram to solve for the numbers of possible outcomes. So you are given 30 seconds to answer. So for the first one, and your 30 seconds starts now. Just type in your answer on the comment box. Okay, time's up. So let's give the answers. So for the first one, it's B. So if your answer is B, you are correct. Next is B. So if your answer is B, you are correct. Next number. 30 seconds again. Okay, so time's up. If your answer is letter A, then you are correct. Next, another 30 seconds for numbers 3 and 4. And your 30 seconds starts now. Okay, so let's reveal the answers. If your answer is letter D, then you are correct. And if your answer is letter C, you're also correct. Next, for the last number, so another 30 seconds. Okay, so if your answer is letter B, then you are correct. So you did a great job in our activity or in our task. So for your homework, answer what's more. Roman numeral number 1, try this. And Roman numeral number 2, keep trying. And your subject teacher will be the one to check it on your follow-up discussion tomorrow. Before we end, I would like you to remember that the outcomes, when we say outcomes, those are the possible chances in a single trial in an experiment. Sample space, this is the set of possible outcomes, and the methods or the ways that we use today is first the tree diagram. It is the systematic way of illustrating the possible outcomes of a particular experiment. And the listing method, it's a systematic way of enumerating the possible outcomes in an experiment. Another thing that I would like you to remember is that the probability of success is difficult, but if we never search, the chance of success is a zero. So this is by Philip Morris. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me here. Stay safe always. God bless you all. This has been your teacher Precious, now signing off.